What's up, YouTube? So for this next video, I want to talk about group sets. A group set on a bike is anything that has to do with its gearing, braking, and drivetrain. So on the Madone, it's got the Shimano Ultegra group set. And then on the Tarmac, it's got the SRAM Force group set. And I'm going to talk about the differences with both. So the most important aspects I'll discuss is the electronic shifting, and then how each one charges as far as the battery is concerned. And then I'll get into the mechanics of the actual shifting levers themselves. Basically, if you're deciding on a bike and you want to go electronic shifting, which is probably the way that you can go. Not to say that old school mechanical shifting with the cables isn't still effective, but I think everyone's leaning towards electronic shifting now. But it's just basically up to you on which company that you want to go with. If you want to go with Shimano or if you want to go with SRAM, and then I'll explain the key differences with each one. All right, starting off with the Madone. Here are the front shifting levers. This is the Shimano Ultegra. So this piece right here is to shift up, and then this little tiny one right here in the middle is to shift down. And then you just press this for the rear brake. Then on the opposite side, same thing. It looks exactly like this. I'm not gonna go to the opposite side because the lighting is bad. But on the opposite side, this is again to shift up and then to shift down, but on the big and small chainring. And then this is what is called the front derailleur, and then the rear derailleur. And then on the Madone, the big chainring on the outside is 52 tooth, and then the smaller one on the inside, if you could see it, is 36. Now for regular flats and non-climbing, and if you're riding regular, you're going to use a bigger chainring. And then if when you're going to the hills and the climbs, you're going to use a smaller chainring. And then the Shimano Ultegra is wired. So there's a wire that runs inside this carbon stem right here. And then to charge it, you're going to open this piece right here. I already opened it earlier. And then you're going to charge it on that port. You see that port right there? And you only need to charge the rear. All right, so with the shifting, if you're wearing fingerless gloves, shifting up and down should be no problem. Same on the opposite side. If you're wearing thin gloves, no problem either. But if you're wearing thicker gloves, like in the wintertime, the gloves, especially if they're thicker, it might obstruct how you're shifting because these are so thin. They're not as wide as SRAM. So that's one of the biggest complaints that Shimano users have. But I've used winter gloves before, and I had no problem shifting. And then here is the charging cable for the Shimano Ultegra. It's about 5 feet long, and then there's a USB at the end. And then to charge it, you go to the back area that I showed you earlier, and then you just plug it in here like so, and it'll attach. There you go. And then you run the USB into any brick, plug it into any outlet, and it's going to charge for however long that it needs to charge. So the downside to the Shimano group sets and electronic shifting is you need this cable plugged into a brick via USB or any kind of device into an outlet. And you only need to charge the rear. You don't have to worry about the front derailleur. This charges both. And then back to the charging, there should be a blue light that's going to flash. I'm not going to really charge it right now, but the charging time, the research that I've read is it varies, but people say that you can just charge it at least once a month and you'll be fine. So I've only charged this once, and I've had the bike for about 2 months now, and it's always been the battery's always been good. I've never run out of juice. All right, so now on to the Tarmac. It's using the SRAM force. And here's a shift lever or shift mechanism. As you can see, it's twice as wide and it's only a single shifter. So on the right side, on the brake side, here's a brake. This is to shift up, and then on the other side is to shift down. I'm not going to go to the other side, the lighting is bad. And then if you press both at the same time, it's going to shift down on the big to the small chainring in the center. So the shifting mechanics on this is a little bit easier because the mechanisms here are wider. So it doesn't matter what type of gloves you're using because there's only one on each side. So you could be wearing thicker winter gloves and the shifting is not going to be obstructed versus like on the Shimano because you have the two thinner shifters on each side. So yeah, this is it's a really convenient. All right, so on the Tarmac, the drivetrain, on the Madone, it was 52 by 36. On the Tarmac, it's a 48 by 35. So 48 on the larger ring, 35 on the smaller one. And then there's the front derailleur and the rear derailleur. So a little bit easier on here. So the front and the rear each have a battery. So this is where SRAM really shines. So you just flip that tab up and the battery already fell. Where is it? There it is, sorry. All right, so there's a battery. So I'll keep that footage, I won't edit it or anything, but you flip this tab up and then there's the battery. And this thing right here is the battery. And same thing on this side, on the rear, you just flip the tab up and the battery fell down again. It usually doesn't fall, but yeah, just hold on to it. But obviously I'm holding my phone at the same time. So there's two batteries and I'll show you how to charge those. Okay, so where SRAM really shines is its battery and battery charging components and battery charging method. It comes with this SRAM battery charger, and then you just plug it in via that port right there, and then it just plugs into the wall and you can just leave it idle here and then you just place the battery in there. All right, I was having a rough time trying to show you all this while I was holding the phone, so now it's on the stand. So just plug it in. This is my Android charger. See, just plugs into the wall or any outlet, and then here's a battery, and you just pop that bad boy in like so, and then plug it to the wall, and then it'll light up. It'll show yellow and then it'll show green when it's done charging. So I'm not really going to charge it, but look at the ease of charging this. You can charge it anywhere in your house. You don't have to plug in your bike to the wall. So yeah, that's how awesome the SRAM charging unit is. All right, and just match up the prongs, and then you close the tab there. And then you look at your hands and get all that grease chain off. And you just do it on the same on the back side. There you go. All right, so kind of just a quick video describing just the basic pros and cons and differences between the Shimano Ultegra and the SRAM Force. Again, you can start at the most basic electronic group sets. With Shimano, it goes Shimano 105 is the lowest, and then the mid-tier is the Shimano Ultegra, and then the highest, most expensive is the Shimano Dura Ace. And then on the SRAM side, it goes SRAM Rival, SRAM Force, and then SRAM Red. So I have the mid-tier on each of these, so the Ultegra and the Rival on the Tarmac. So which one do I like better? I like both. I wanted the best of both worlds. That's been the theme of why I got each of these bikes. and I wanted different group sets on each of them. There's no point of getting the same group set. Another downside to SRAM is it seems to be priced at $500 more than the Shimano, and I think that's because of the battery and the ease of the shifting and the battery charge, but who knows, maybe the components are more expensive when they manufacture them. But yeah, I think you can't go wrong with either. It just depends on your preference. If you want easier shifting mechanics, and if you want to be able to charge your battery easier than plugging in your bike to the wall, which is impractical these days, but you only got to do it like once a month. And but it's way easier to charge the battery on the Tarmac. The way that it rides and shifts, I find that it's just slightly faster shifting on the Shimano Ultegra, but I feel that the shifting mechanics are easier on the Tarmac because of the wider tabs. Slightly faster also overall on the Ultegra. Plus another upside, if you go with Shimano, is that the brakes are better. To me, they're better, and you know, Shimano's known for their outstanding brakes. So that's, and you save $500, and the battery lasts longer, but it's wired. So all personal preference, and you can't go wrong. But yeah, electronic shifting is the new wave. Nothing wrong with mechanical, but if you want to be, you know, riding today's most advanced technology as far as cycling is concerned, electronic shifting. Quaint video, there's far superior videos out there from way better YouTubers that have more knowledge and better video quality and things like that. But I have a microphone now. So I appreciate you watching. Happy holidays until my next video. Also forgot to mention, real quick, the Seahawks won 3 straight, by the way. First place again. But Shimano and SRAM both have apps that you can download on your phone, and it shows you everything going on with your electronic shifting components, the battery charge, power meter if you have one. But I've yet to be able to even connect to the Shimano eTube app. But the SRAM Access app is way, way better, far superior. I always know how much battery charge I have. It's always green, and it's just a way better app. So thumbs up to SRAM for that. And whereas Shimano, I'm yet to log on. So yeah, forgot to mention that. Go Hawks!